Warning, the following episode contains depictions of domestic abuse. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. You guys can't hear nothing. Welcome back to the We On One podcast, hosted by David and Bells. Today we are joined with our really good friend, Liz from Lex Beauty. How are you, Liz?
Good. Thank you for having me again.
So it has been 1 whole year since the last time Liz was on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. You know what that means? We got to run the numbers up again.
We have to.
The views are down.
We have to catch up. Well, we are caught up. We've always been caught up with her, but we need to catch you guys up on what Liz has been up to the past year, why she hasn't been able to come back on the podcast. So the last time that you guys saw Liz, she was single. She had no mans.
Period.
But so now she does have a man, and she's been having some baby mama drama.
So in other words, she fucked up the show we were supposed to have.
Yeah. We
My
were
bad,
supposed
guys.
to throw that whole show.
You ended up falling in love and
She
shit.
ended up finding her love on her own.
Tinder. So I guess kind of.
Okay, so let's start there. You guys, how'd you guys meet?
So yeah, it was. I was actually seeing somebody previous to him, like kind of on and off, but it was super toxic. And he was from Lake County, and I told myself that I did not want to date from Lake County ever again. So it was actually funny because like one day I was in a client and I was telling her, I was like, I don't want to date nobody from Lake County anymore. Like I want somebody that's not from here. Like both my baby daddies are not from here. So I was like, it just feels right not to date here no more. So she's like, get on Tinder and just put like your miles like really far so you match with people not around here. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I get on, I'm like swiping. I'm like, no, like this sucks. So I was like, one day I was literally just going to get off of it. And like, I'm like, this is pointless. It's like all they look like they want to do is obviously fuck. So I swiped on him, and then pretty much like after that he slid in right away, and I was like, all right, well, I'm getting off Tinder. Like there was nothing on here, so if you want to follow me on Instagram, go ahead. Yeah. And then pretty much then we just started talking.
So did he end up DMing you first, or did you end up like? Did he follow you and then you like?
He followed me and then DM'd me. I went to so before he followed me, I like had his first and last name, and I definitely went to go do my research. So looked him up on Facebook, looked him up on Instagram. Like I found everything right away, and
does it say like the first and last name on the Tinder app?
Yeah, it does.
So it has to be like,
their job or like what their like interests are. Like you can update your bio as much as you want, as much information as you want. So
well, me and Bells have been married for 10 years. So
right, so we've never been on the app. So we're like, what's that?
You know what's weird is I didn't
like
wanna.
Facebook?
Kind of, yeah. And like it's kind of crazy too now because like you know like when Catfish came out, like the show.
Yeah.
Now you have to like get verified. Like you can get verified on Tinder so that like they'll like face recognize your face to make sure that your face matches with your pictures, and then you get like a little check mark to make sure that like it's legit you. So pretty much that's how it was, and then like whatever he like I did my investigation on him, and then he slid in to the DMs, and ever since that has been history.
Ooh, what a history.
Was that the first time you used like the Tinder app?
Yeah, I've never used Tinder. When I used to work at Salon Bliss, there was a couple girls that were actually married, like from somebody they met on Tinder.
I thought you were going to say they were married on Tinder. I was like, yo, they're not married. It's not being married, bro. That just means
no, they like ended up getting married from like somebody they met off Tinder. So like I was like skeptical at first. Like I've heard like, you know, people just looking for like hookups and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, I went on and, you know, found him.
You found him? You fell in love?
Yeah,
Did you find him or did he find you?
I think I swiped on him first. Like the check mark, and then we matched. Like I don't really know how that works. Like typically like you can't message somebody unless you two match. So like he had to have came across my profile and like liked my profile, and then had to wait until I came across his, and then we'd match, and then
so that's how it works.
Access. Yeah,
so like you have to like equally like each other's shit, and then that's when the little app will tell you like, okay, you guys
have matched. So yeah, you'll get a little thing. It's like you've matched, and then you're allowed to like message or whatever.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah. I guess that's a good way of doing it. That way, I'm assuming that if you're a girl, you'd probably just be flooded.
Yeah, pretty
flooded
much,
with
right?
fucking requests and shit like that.
So you kind of get to like pick and choose like who you want to like message you.
So he ended up DMing you, and then you guys just ended up like starting hanging out, or
so like he DM'd me and we talked for like a couple of days, and it was funny because like when I had looked him up, the first thing I noticed is he had a kid. Like his Instagram was all about his kid. So I was like, okay, cool, like that's a plus, right? And then so right when like I started talking to him, like the first thing I said was like, look, I got 4 kids, like I come with this baggage. If you cool with that, then like continue talking. If not, then like bye. Like it is what it it is, you know? So I was like...
Was he off put at first? Or was he just kind of like, nah, it's cool. I guess
okay,
a family of 5 would be cool.
So I thought...
yeah, I love kids.
Well, kind of. But, like, at first, he, like, didn't reply right away. And, like, when we were messaging, like, he was replying so fast. I'm like, oh, shit.
Then you said
like,
4 kids?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, shit, like, this is it. Like, 4 kids, that was it. He ain't talking to me no more. Yeah. Which is fine. Like, I've had that before. And, like, I just come to... You? Yeah, and I've come to a realization that, like... It's not easy. Like, I've dated one person with a kid on and off. That was the last, like, kind of relationship, whatever you want to call it. And it's hard. It's really hard dating with kids. So, I didn't blame him.
You hear that, Bells?
It is very hard.
It's very hard.
Very hard. So, yeah. So, basically, he took a little bit to reply back.
Yeah.
And I was just basically like, if it's a problem, like, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm not going to be upset over it, you know? And he's like, oh, no, like, I'm sorry. I was dealing with my son. Like, I didn't get back to you right away because I was, like, making him dinner. So, he's like, no, I love kids. I actually work or have always worked with kids, whether it was, like, at a juvenile home or DCFS or right now he, like, is a supervisor, kind of like a halfway house kind of thing for kids. So, he was like, I love kids. Like, that's not a big deal for me. And he's like, but I have something that might be a make it or break it. And I'm like, oh, shit, like...
You already knew.
I already knew it was the baby mama. So I was like, okay, what? And he's like, my baby mama. And I was like,
this nigga said, I got the luggage and the carry-on.
Yep.
Not the carry-on.
But, like, I've always, like, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, being baby mama myself, a lot of guys will talk shit about their baby mamas. Like, she ain't shit, she this, she that. So when he said that, I'm like, all right, like, whatever. Like, how bad could it really be? Exactly.
Because you only get it one
point of view. Or
you
had actually just...
Exactly.
You had just gotten out of that relationship like earlier in the year and you had problems like with that baby mama too, right? So you were kind of thinking like, I've been dealing with
that. Like how, I mean, that one was kind of bad too. So like how bad could this one really be, right? And so then he starts like laying out his whole life story. And it was like, one, he's not from here. So he's born and raised in Oklahoma. You know, when he met his baby mama, she's from here. She moved out to Oklahoma and lived with him, from my understanding. Lived with him, they got pregnant, they moved back here. And that's understandable. I mean, most girls want to be with their family, right, when they get pregnant. So he moved all his stuff. He came out here, moved in with her. They had a very rocky relationship. And when he was first telling me, like, about their relationship, once again, it's one-sided, right? So I'm kind of like, let me give her the benefit of the doubt a little bit. He was like, you know, was getting domestic. And he's like, I have a job that works with kids. Like, I can't have this on my record. Like, I could lose my job. And he's African-American, and she is white. Okay. So, come on now. If the cops come... What are they going to think?
Yeah, of course. He's obviously going to be named the aggressor.
Exactly.
And I don't even think that it has a lot to do with him being black, but it has more just to him being a man.
Because
from, like, my point of view, like, yeah, like... What are they going to tell you? Like, oh, you just can't walk away from her? Mm-hmm. You can't leave the house? Like, no, bro. Yeah. Like, you don't know the situation sometimes. Because there are men who get abused by women.
There is.
You know, and that's just very... Just like how, you know, there's a lot of women who get abused by men. And it's almost
just
like...
less talked about when it has to do with the guy getting abused.
Well, because the stigma is, like, you have to pretty much be a man and man up and either, like, beat her ass back or, like, walk away. But it's like, dude, like, when you've been with someone and... You know, you're coming from a background where, like, maybe he was previously traumatized. And I'm not talking about your boyfriend, but I'm just saying, like, in general.
He didn't have his dad growing up either. So it's like, I know that I think he was just trying to fight more to
for his family.
For his family.
Yeah, for his family. And that could be the main factor on why he was allowing her to cross certain lines and shit like that. Or just, you know, not set boundaries. Because he's looking at it as, like, I know what it was like not to have my dad. I don't want my son to go through that either. And... You know, I respect that a lot. Mm-hmm. I do respect that, and I also respect him standing up for himself and saying, you know what, enough is enough.
Yeah. And it took him a while. I mean, like, at first, like I said, I didn't believe him. And, like, it was to the point where, like, he would record their fights. And I would ask him, like, why do you have so many recordings? You know, like, why do you have all these, like, recordings of you guys arguing? He's like, well, Liz, like, if the cops come, like, I have to show proof that, like, this is what it is.
That it's not him.
That it's not him. Exactly. And so then, like, when he's, like, showing me these, I'm like, okay, you know, like, I kind of believe him. Like, I believe his side, right? So not even 2 days later, the baby mama finds me on Instagram. And she messages me.
Wait, how did she find you? Because I thought that was crazy.
Here we go.
Like, how did she find you?
She found me off of his followers.
Oh, and we forgot to say that Liz came with the receipts.
Yeah,
okay? She came with the
I got a whole binder full of
and
receipts.
Just for the record to be known, Delvante knows that we were talking about this and stuff like that, and he's okay with it. And okay.
Yeah, so he's cool with that.
So for everybody listening, he is well aware of everything that's going on, and you know the situation that is being spoken on. It's not, we're not just like being chatty patties and
starting some drama.
Yeah, starting drama. Like, he's well aware and he's okay with us speaking about it.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
And so the first encounter here, I'll read you the message. Don't worry. It says, she sends me a message.
And I got my own copy too. So that I can follow with her.
So she can follow along. That's the one for the lawyer, so the next page.
Look at page, she said, look at page 3, section 4A.
She said to the top left corner.
I highlighted it.
There is some that
there's a ledger
in there. Yes, correct.
Okay.
So she messages me and she says, "Hey, girl," and I say, "Hey, what's up?" She said, "I wanted to come to you, woman to woman." My favorite line.
It's always woman to woman.
My favorite line about my baby daddy. She said, "He was just trying to come over last night and work things out, but I see he added you and stuff since I told him no, he couldn't come by. Just curious to see if he reached out or just added." Mind you, I didn't even tell her.
Yes.
I didn't even tell her that I knew her baby daddy. Like, why are you telling me that, like, your baby daddy was at your house and, like, all this stuff? Like, I didn't tell you yes or no. So, like, when I got that message, instantly, like, in my head, I've only been talking to this man 2 days. Why would I tell her I know her baby daddy? I don't know if I'm going to like him tomorrow. I don't even know him. So, my first thing was, like, to tell her, like, I don't know him. Like, I don't want to have the drama if I don't know if I want to be with him. So, I said, no, I don't know him. And then she goes, well, it's just weird that he followed you on Instagram and TikTok.
It's the fact that she was, like, looking at that, too. Yeah. Like, damn.
To know all his socials that he was following me on them. So I just made up a lie, and I was like, yeah, he probably just, like, followed me on TikTok, and my TikTok bio has my Instagram. So I was like, probably from there, girl. Like, I don't know what's wrong. She's like, well, thanks, girl. You do great hair. I'm like, thanks. Thanks. So that was it.
You do great hair.
Thank you.
Oh, period. You know what? Hair. I need to give her a shout out because my hair was hot pink and she was able to get me to like an Ashley blonde. And let me tell you guys, that was a freaking project, okay? But I don't feel like any other hairstylist here could do my hair like how she does them. So
well, thank you guys. Period. Thank you.
Lux Beauty in Haynesville, Illinois.
Thank you for the sponsorship. Okay, so that was pretty much like the first encounter. And so I had told him right away, like, hey, your baby mama reached out. And he was like, oh, my God. Like, I'm, like, embarrassed, you know? And I'm like, it's cool. Like, I get it. And I told her that I don't know you. And he was like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, I told her I don't know you. And he was just kind of, like, shocked because he was like, well, why are you lying? And I was just like, because, like, I don't really know you. Like, obviously, we just started talking, but, like, we've never met. I don't know where it's going to go, you know? And so he was like, okay, like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, thank you for that. So, in that time being, though, he kind of told me.
Immediately went into playing the role.
Yeah, for real. In that time being, he kind of was like, all right, I'm going to give you kind of, like, the rundown of, like, what's going on between us. And I'm like, oh, great. Like, what? And he was like, so, I moved out in January. He moved out of her house, and he got a townhouse with, like, one of his friends. So, she was telling him that in order for him to get basically like paper signed that he would have 50-50 without going through court, that they would have to go to like couples counseling. They would have to work on their relationship. And he said, yeah, he didn't want to have to like pay all that money and he wanted to see his kid. So in that time, like he kept trying to like go to her house and like have her like sign papers and stuff. And she wanted more every time. It wasn't just about the papers. It was like her forcing like the relationship on them. So he kind of told me, like, if she ever tells you, like, that I'm leading her, or, like, I'm talking to her and I want to be with her, he's like, I kind of feel like I have to lead her on in order for me to see my son. And me, I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, why do I got to be the one dealing with this? Like, I'm not okay with that. And
how do you believe him, right? How do you believe that he is just faking and he is just leading her on?
Exactly.
Or is he lying to you and he actually is, like, you know...
So, like, the first couple of weeks were really hard, and I feel like he, like, kind of seen that I was not taking it easy, and, like, we would hang out all the time, and he would, like, show me text messages and be like, look, like, this is what I said to her today, and, like, I just don't want you, like, I want to be really transparent with you, like, I like hanging out with you. He was like, you're a good time, and I told him, I said, if we don't become anything serious, like, you know, we can still be friends. Like, I have a really good group of friends. We took him out to, like, Waukegan, and, like, he hasn't been out. Like, when he was living with her, like, he generally felt like he was in jail. Like, he couldn't go play basketball. He couldn't go anywhere without asking. She would be spiteful and, like, cut off the internet. She'd be spiteful and, like, to the point where, like, she would turn off the water so, like, he couldn't shower, like, when they were arguing. Like,
that's crazy.
Crazy stuff like that. So, like, poor kid, I felt like he was, like, dang near in jail. So... I told him, I was like, if this doesn't work out, like, we can still be friends or whatever. And
you have the nerve to complain about my attitude sometimes. That's crazy.
We all have our own.
You're lucky you can shower with. You're lucky you can shower with hot water. Okay.
Yeah, because I pay both of those bills.
Well, he paid the internet bill and he got that cut off.
You know, to each his own, right?
Exactly. So
I'm not out here trying to work it out.
So basically, he was like kind of keeping me in the loop of like what was going on. And I will say that there was a time where things were getting really rocky, and she kind of found out that we were still talking. And so she was going to do everything in her power to try to get that to stop because she wanted her family back. And I always kind of told him that, like, I understood that. Like, being a mother and, like, having to go through that twice, it's very hard coming to realization that your family will never be together again. Right? And I think it's even harder knowing that she got broken up with and, like, she's the reason that her family will never be together. And so, like, seeing him move on, it's a really hard, like, pill to swallow, right? And so I would always tell him, like, I don't say nothing back to her because, like, I get it. Like, I had my family ruined once, myself, and, like, it's very hard. And so when she found out that we would continue to talk, she would try anything in her power to get him to go to her house. And there was this one incident where he goes, they do something together. I don't want to say exactly what, but they do something together, and it was to the point where she knew that she would get him to do it. She recorded it.
That sounds like revenge porn.
Yeah.
But, you know?
Uh-huh.
What the fuck do
she
I know?
recorded it. And
somebody get Blac Chyna's lawyer on the phone.
And it was weird because, like, that day, like, I had my intuition. Like, I was at work, and, like, I knew he was going there. Like, he had told me, like, when he got there and, like, told me when he left. And, like, I just, like, I knew something was off. And, like, I go home. It was a long day at work. I go to bed. He calls me at, like, midnight. And he's like, I just want to tell you something before, like, she tells you. Like, I want you to hear it from me. Like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
And, like, I was half asleep. So I was like, all right, now. Like, I'm hanging up the phone. I didn't even say anything. I was like, what the fuck? So then she messages me. And was like...
Wait, so you ended up hanging up on him?
Yeah.
You didn't even, like...
No, I didn't say anything.
And at this point, you guys were together, or you guys were just still talking?
We were, like, starting to get a little more serious. Like, we were, like, obviously talking about being together and, like, seeing where it went. And, like, I didn't really want to rush things just because, like, I didn't know the circumstance of what was really going on between the two, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I liked hanging out with him. He was a good time. Like... all of that, but it was just like I just knew that if I rushed it, like my feelings were definitely gonna get hurt. That this was like so fresh between the relationship as well. So I like hung up. She messages me and she's like, "I have the recording. You want me to send it to you?" So of course I'm like I want to hear it, right? In there, did I show you the recording?
No.
I have to play it after I get off here. I can't play it on here. He'll definitely kill me. And that was the one request he said. Like, he didn't care that I did the podcast, but he was like, do not play that recording.
So is it just audio, or is it like...
It's just audio. So what she did was she had her watch on. And, like, so he says multiple times in the recording, like, where's the recording at? Where's the recording at? Let me see. Like, he knew that she would be that spiteful to, like, have a recording and, like, record him. But, his dumbass still did it. His dumbass still did it.
Yeah, but like...
His dumbass still did it.
Is that illegal?
All right, so like if I did that to you, you'd definitely be calling a lawyer talking about, I have revenge porn, I have this, I have that. So if the roles were reversed, Delvante would have been a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And people would have been bashing him. But because it's not, people are just kind of like, okay.
Yeah. Well, in this little recording, it starts off with her talking hella shit about me, talking about you want to be with Brady Bunch, like you want more kids, and she already has 4.
First of all, that was an amazing show. Okay, the Brady Bunch was a great show. I used to watch it all the time on Nick at Night. I was
like, thanks, girl. Like, what could I say? I do got the Brady Bunch.
The fuck you gonna hate on the Brady Bunch?
Yeah,
we love a good football team. Okay,
period. So she was just like, that's not you, Delvante. Like, you don't want to be with the Brady Bunch. You want kids, like more kids. And I was like, okay, who says that? Like, I couldn't have more kids.
Him more
like,
kids.
Whatever. So it was just like her talking hella shit to get him to say stuff, and like he wasn't saying anything back. But the thing that like upset me, I guess, what was crazy was that I don't think I got upset over what he did. It was more I got upset of him not defending me in that like situation, right? Mm-hmm. Because I was like, you mean your baby mama's flat out talking shit to you about me, and like you're not saying nothing, right? So she messages me, she sends me it, and she basically is like, are you gonna leave him? Like that's all she kept messaging me back. Are you done now? After I give you the proof, are you done? Are you done? And I was just like, can you stop messaging me? Like, What's the point of this?
A lot of what she does is she just pushes you. Like, she just keeps throwing all this stuff at you, and she's pushing you and pushing you and pushing you because she wants to push you to your limit. But it's like, girl.
So she got blocked on social media, and I was like, I'm blocking her phone number, I'm blocking everything. And then like with him, it was like I really pushed him kind of like away. Like I kind of was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do here, right? So he definitely felt like I was pushing him away, and he kept trying. We ended up going to Puerto Rico probably about maybe 2 months after that. And, like, that Puerto Rico trip, I think, changed our whole relationship. Like, I think I really got to know him and, like, what he was going through. And, like, part of me can, like, kind of see as to, like, why he did it in the sense of... I'm not saying that what he did was right because, like, I tell him even still to this day, like, I think that it built a lot of insecurity for me in the relationship, which is, like, not fair. But I'm, like, at the same time, I can understand. Like, he had nobody here. The only person he had here was her and his son. So, like, he was kind of vulnerable. And, like, she's throwing it where, like, you can't see my son unless you're with me. Right. So what does he feel like it's best for him to do?
Yeah, she's weaponizing the little boy against him. And
correct.
Pretty much just like holding him hostage, not literally hostage, but like
pretty much
in the like in the sake of like a figurative, like in a you know, in the argument, pretty much just saying like either you're fucking with her or you're not fucking with us. And she keeps making it us.
It was always us. Like
it's
every
text
us. You would hear,
it's never
like
just
you're
her.
ruining us. Our family is never going to be together. And it's like you can still have a family and not be together. Like you can co-parent perfectly fine, and like your son can see that you guys can be cordial, and it's probably better that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I think that might actually make him a lot better off with having a relationship with women in his life because he's able to understand that like, you know, not everything's going to work out, you know, and if, you know, God forbid he would have been in that situation as well, he knows that it's okay for him to walk away and still have a healthy relationship with his family.
Yep, exactly.
Because I know so many, like, couples who are together, but they shouldn't be. Like, all they do is fight, and all their kids see is them fighting. And it's like, why? Like, why do you want
that
your
was
kids
my last year relationship
to
with
see you
Joey.
guys just fighting?
Yep.
Like,
that was my last year of the relationship with Joey. It was like we weren't even sleeping in the same room. Like, how could I have my kids think that that's what a family is? Like, that's what a marriage is. And I had told myself, like, as much as it hurts me and I don't want to separate these 3 kids away from their dad, especially because I did it to the first one already, it's kind of like I want my kids to see me happy and, like, see me loved by someone and be in love with someone than to see the opposite.
But it's also important for them to see their dad love someone the right way and show them what, like, show your daughter what it is like to be loved by a man, what it is, show your son what it's like to love a woman the right way in all aspects. So it goes both ways, you know.
It definitely does, and I think that was like the thing with our relationship that we came
Shout out,
together.
Joey. I got your back.
No, and like even now, like
he hooked me up with a haircut during COVID. Yo, he can't get in trouble for that no more. So
no, and like he even says that now. Like when he met Avante, like he even said like me and Liz, like, the reason why we work such great as co-parents is because we don't put our feelings first. We put our feelings last, and we put our kids first. And
as it should be.
As it should be. And that's the one thing that, like, I appreciate him more because we could both be better, you know? So then, these fake profiles started to come.
wait, actually, let's
go
back a little bit.
I'm going to timestamp that real quick because we're not going to say her name.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I timestamped it. Don't worry. I timestamped it. Don't worry.
Can I proceed? Or wait, what happened?
No, just keep going. Yeah, you're good. You're good. I'm just timestamping that. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so we got to go back a little bit because actually you asked us if you showed us the recording. You didn't show us the recording. But she actually, I don't know if you remember, she offered to send us the recording.
Yeah, so that's kind of what
ended up, right? So, okay.
That's where you guys got involved.
Yes. So she did a lot of, like, stalking you.
Well, start off how it started. So we did the episode.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She did a lot of stalking her because, okay, we did that episode with Liz, and somehow she found out that.
No, it wasn't somehow. I think she went into like my tag videos on like Instagram.
Yeah.
Because how else would she have on that video? Like
that's
she literally would have.
She went. I don't know. She went digging.
We're a worldwide podcast.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. A very well-known podcast. So don't sit there and comfort me like that.
No, she did. Remember?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, she went digging, and she found out that Liz did that first episode with us.
Yeah.
And what she did was she made a fake profile on Instagram. Damn, what was her name?
Don't worry, I have it. Hold on.
I was going to say, do you want me to bring it up?
I know. I was like, let me go
find just go to the video. Yeah, just go to the video.
Wait, no,
she's got it in there somewhere.
Don't worry, guys.
I feel like I feel like it was
like
Judy. Was it Judy?
It was Juju _
Juju. It was Juju. Miss Juju.
Juju _ nap.
Okay.
I don't know what
Miss Juju girl messages us, okay, and
no, first she comments on it. Yeah. And she said she's a fraud. Well, hashtag fraud. And said she swears she don't fuck with dudes who got girlfriends or dudes that still involved with their kid's mother. She's capping. Let me be on the podcast. I got her receipt. Mm-hmm. So then we on podcast says. Now
well, wait, actually, so
no,
when she commented...
I did. I was being messy.
He's like, not on International Women's Day.
Yeah, like, why are we bringing each other down?
Wait, so
y'all supposed to be uplifting each other.
It was. And he's like, but... DM the receipts. And they had texted me like, Liz, like, what do we do? And I'm like, get the receipts. Like, I want to see, like, what is she talking? Like,
because at this point, when she commented on like the post and like talking shit about Liz, I had no idea nothing about him yet. You hadn't told me yet because it was all
really
just
kind of low key for a little bit.
And like I had actually had like an appointment with you a couple weeks before, and you told me like you were talking to somebody, but you know it's so fresh and whatever. I didn't know, like, any details. I didn't know his name. I didn't know anything because it was just so fresh and you were just like, we'll see.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, if it becomes something, I know she's going to tell me. But then, you know, this Juju message or comments on her post. And when I saw it, like, me and David are like, we are making dinner, okay? And we look at each other.
Tea.
He's like, grab the popcorn bells. Like, Liz got some drama for us.
When we saw it, we like look at each other and we're like, what the hell? Like, who is this? And we're like going through the profile, you know, and we're like, who the hell is this?
No way this is real.
I know.
I was like, there's no way this shit is real.
Yeah, it was like real estate. Yeah. And then I send like a screenshot to Liz, and I'm like,
Liz,
who?
Fake careers and everything.
Yeah, I was like, Liz, who the hell is this? And then that's when she calls me and she tells me everything that's been going on, and she tells me, you know, that profile is fake, but she was telling me like who made that profile. So then I was like, okay, like, do you want us to just delete the comment? And she was like, no, like I want to know what receipts she has, and like, you know, play along with her and see. And we were like, okay. And then that's when I told David, I was like, that's, you know, she said, like, go ahead and play along with it. Let's see what she has or whatever. Because you were just curious, right? Like, what was she going to send?
Yeah, like, I kind of knew that she'd probably use the recording because, like, that was, like, the worst thing that, like, obviously had happened in our relationship or whatever.
That was honestly the only thing she even had on him.
Yeah, she really did. That was the only thing. But it was to the point where, like, she would screenshot me messages that he said to her or whatever, and she would edit the message.
So she was out of context.
So that it looked like he said he loved her and wanted to be with her, but that was really what she said to him. And then, like, he would show me his phone and, like,
it's a
the actual text message.
Message.
And I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's a completely different text message. So, like, I knew that she was going to try to stir some shit. So
first of all, if she's a real real estate agent, she's in the wrong career. She needs to be, like, an FBI agent or something.
Yeah, she really found out even who my baby daddy was.
You're the wrong kind of agent.
Wait, you know the day before she messaged you guys, she messaged Joey.
Okay.
So I had that message too.
Poor Joey got involved.
I had that message too, so don't worry. She messaged Joey, trying to get with Joey, okay? And then she sends me a text like, I guess we're going to be sister wives. And I'm like, sister wives? What the hell is she talking about? Well, in the podcast, I talk about, you know, my first baby daddy and Joey. But I don't say who my first baby daddy's name is. I don't say really anything about him. And he doesn't have social media. So she was able to find Joey. And
that was another thing too, is that she watched the entire episode of you because she got ready for it. So when she messages me, and we'll get into it, but when she messages me, she's like referring to a bunch of stuff in the podcast. And we were like, what the hell? She watched the whole
Liz
episode.
said at 13 and 4 minutes, she don't fuck with nobody who got baby mamas. But, okay, so in here, she basically, I have the one where she messages Joey, and she goes, yo, is this your BM? Because she's trying to share my baby daddy with me, LMFAO. Joey replies back and is like, yeah, I mean, we're not together, but she can talk to whoever she wants to. She's like, all right, I feel the honesty, appreciate that. And then, so like, I reply back to her when she like telling me we're going to be sister wives and that she's talking to Joey. I reply back to her and I tell her, like, my baby daddies know their place. Like, they know that, like, we don't get involved in each other's relationships unless we're meeting them for the kids, right? Yeah. Other than that, whatever they tend to do on their time is what they do, and I don't get involved unless my kids are coming home saying so-and-so is doing something to them, right? And so I reply back, like, they know their spot. Like, he knows that I'm not doing anything to harm him or his kids. And so she tells him that basically I say, go ahead. I got good ass relationship with the both of them, sis. They know their place. And then he replies, LOL, honestly, IDK to get in between y'all. Leave me out of it. I appreciate it. She says, all right, that's cool. I'm trying to get to know you, but fuck it then. So why?
That's weird.
Why? Why is she trying to get to know my baby daddy? Like,
you're getting to know hers.
It's the binder.
We're trying to share?
Dude, come on. It's like, it only makes sense, right?
It's the binder word for word.
What are we going to have? Christmas dinner all together or what?
She said, let's switch baby daddies.
What? Wife swap? Do you guys remember that show?
Yes. You know what? For all the complaining David does about me,
Put him on wife swap.
How the fuck is this about me now?
and I'm gonna reach out to her and I'm gonna tell her.
Give him that one. Give him that baby mama.
Give him that baby mama.
I'm good. I've already said this before in like a previous episode that I don't know how dudes be dealing with multiple baby mamas. Like one is hard
It ain't
enough,
for the
dude.
weak.
Yeah,
It's
one
not for the weak.
One is hard enough, dude. Like y'all niggas be wilding for no reason.
Yeah.
So then the day later, she messages you guys. She finds obviously messages the pod and says,
Yeah, so after David, he really wanted to say that messy comment. By the way, he was like, come on, let me do it.
Yeah,
I was
then
like,
it told me
go
not to
ahead.
write it, and I'm like, come on, dude, it's national. What is it like?
International Women's Day.
International Women's Day. Like we got to like
support women.
Like
Right.
no, like the way I saw it was like, dude, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like it's
It
funny.
was-
Like,
it
I
was
was just
funny.
being funny. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't really like I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like the only reason why like I'm so invested in this was because she messaged us.
Yeah, like
Other
it was
than
just
that,
so
like,
funny
I really
how
don't
like
care.
Yeah.
she messaged her. Okay, so then David tells her like not an International Women's Day, like all right, like send us the receipts or DM the receipts or whatever. So then she actually did DM us.
I didn't think she was gonna do it.
I didn't think
she
she was
was gonna do it.
I knew she was
I
going
don't
to
think
do
she was
it.
gonna DM us, so she DMs us and she's like, "What do I gotta like? Which receipts do you guys want? What do I gotta show? I want to join the podcast." And so that's when I was like, "All right, let's see what the hell she's got." Right, and okay, when I was talking to her, like I'm going along with whatever, but the whole time, obviously, me and David are never gonna put on some girl on the podcast who's gonna be talking shit about our friend. Like it was just crazy to us that like she even thought like we're gonna
That
put
you
her
guys
on
would
to
be
talk
against
shit.
me or something.
Yeah, like
It was
once
just
you're
so weird.
once
If
you
she
join our
really listened
universe,
to the
like you're not really
podcast,
gonna.
Exactly.
She would know that me and Belinda literally said in the beginning of the pod that we were
We've
best
known each
friends
other
since
for all
we
of
were
our
kids.
lives. Yeah.
Our parents have known each other since they were kids.
Yeah.
Like,
It was just so weird.
It's
so,
like weird.
yeah.
I don't know. But so I'm just going along with her, right? And I'm like, well, what exactly do you have? And she's just basically
Eyeball
saying,
emoji.
yeah.
That
I did put the
That
eyeball
was a
emoji.
little added in by me.
So then, she's just basically telling me that, or telling us, because I don't even know if she knew who she was even talking to. But
No. But
she's
this was all
basically-
Belinda.
Yeah, it was all me. So she's basically telling us just like how she's still with her baby daddy, how Liz doesn't believe her, and like that she's been telling Liz that they're still together.
I read that. I was like, Liz doesn't know. I was like, what the fuck is Liz
I
doing?
don't know.
I was like, Liz, why don't you know? She told you, dude. Like, listen to her.
You don't believe her?
You don't believe
No.
her?
Yeah.
She's got receipts.
So then she's like just saying how like she wants to come on the podcast. She wants to put Liz on blast. She wants to show like all the screenshots. She wants to put her baby daddy on blast. And I'm like, bro, what? Like, first of all, like Liz is our friend, so we're not going to put you on our podcast.
Yeah.
And
You have nothing to offer.
like then your baby daddy, like you ain't gonna talk shit about your baby
Right.
daddy.
Like, he seems
We
cool
don't
as fuck.
even
I only
know
met
him.
him like once, but he seems cool as fuck. Like, why the fuck?
Especially like if that's someone you're talking to, you know, why the hell?
Why would
I don't
we do
know.
that?
If you
This girl
wanted to
was
get him
delulu-
back so bad, like, why would you get on there?
Why
and
would you
want to
talk
your
about
baby daddy
him?
on the pod?
And
Like,
why would you want to like embarrass yourself at that?
Yeah.
You're literally gonna come and this is actually
Because
what I
she
kept
knew
telling
that
her.
if he would be like, "Hey, babe, like I want to be back together. Like let's make our family work," she'd go running.
If he
Yeah.
said that today, she would do it.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
would. We literally talked about that yesterday. He's like, "What if I texted her right now and said that? Like, you think she'd come?" Like, of course she would.
1,000%.
Like, she would drop all your court cases.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, should we do it?" And I
It's
was
like, it's like in Practical
like, I'm not
Jokers.
going through that shit again.
You
No.
ever watch that show in Practical Jokers?
Yeah.
Like, tell her you want to get back together right now. See what happens.
Yeah. So then she I just like confirm like who's her baby daddy, because I was just trying to play it off, right? Like pretend like I didn't know anything that was going on.
I didn't know nothing, so at this point I'm like, who is her baby daddy? Like, why is this nigga causing so much trouble?
David's like, send me the Instagram. Let me see.
I was like, who is this hoodlum causing trouble?
And now he's a very respectful man.
Yeah. So okay, so I'm telling her, I'm like, well, let me, because at the same time I'm going back and forth with Liz, and I'm telling Liz like everything she's saying, and I'm like, Liz, what like, what do you think? Like, what should I say next or whatever? And she's like, ask her for the screenshots that she's claiming she has. And I'm like, okay. So like I asked her for the screenshots, and she does send the screenshots that Liz is talking about. Like, so she sends screenshots of her having a conversation with someone, but she blocks out the timestamps, the days, like just like all the actual info. Like, these messages could be from anybody.
It's not really like in the text message. It's like in the search bar. Like if you search the word, let's just say love, right? Mm-hmm. It could be them sending you a text or you sending the text saying love. It's not necessarily saying that they texted you that, and that's what she was doing.
Well, at that point, it'd be like anybody's number.
Exactly.
And then and all you have to do like is literally just go in there,
cross off the
edit
number,
the contact, and then there you go. Hey, to call one of her homegirls to be like, hey, say this to me.
Say this in the text.
And then I'm
going to blur out the number real quick. Yeah.
Or I'll just change your name to his name.
And that we already knew she was making all these fake profiles.
We know what you bitches be doing.
How are we supposed to believe you that you're not making these fake text messages and like plugging in some random ass number, with these text messages?
Right.
I don't know. She just...
These bitches really be doing the most,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah.
And the third.
So then, I'm asking her, like, and I actually responded to her, and I told her, like, none of these screenshots, like, have, like, timestamps, the dates, and the actual number, like, this ain't really nothing for me.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I'll show you everything in person. Let's meet. And I'm like, what the hell? Not this girl wanting to meet me in person.
Like, she sounds like a psycho.
Yes, I was like, what the? And
she later on proved that on her own.
I literally told you. I remember telling you, like, Liz, I am not going to meet this girl in person. Like, what the hell? And I just ended up responding to her. Someone get security.
Somebody get security.
And I ended up responding to her, and I was just like, I mean, if you can't show me what you need to show me right here in the DMs, like, I just don't feel like there's a reason to meet you in person. Like, for what? Like, I feel like she just kind of wanted to meet me in person and just, like, vent about the whole thing. I don't know. But I was like, absolutely not.
They have apps for that. They have a therapy app. Just fucking download a therapy app. Get some therapy, bro, if you want to vent about it.
She definitely needs that.
Jesus Christ. And if you're a therapy app that wants to sponsor us, let us know. AKA BetterHelp.
Oh my gosh. So then, so she was actually at the same time as all of this going on, and this is something that I just was so confused about too. So she was actually like running for like office or something like that.
It was trustee.
Okay, so she was running. Okay, and I was just so confused.
Shit trustworthy about her.
Well, am I bogus that I messaged the village? She knows about this. I messaged the village.
Is this in your information?
Yeah, I actually have the actual proof of text.
No, but I'm saying, like, did you put that in your
No, because I used this for when I went to court for her. I wasn't going to show the judge that I did that. That was the only spiteful thing that I will say that I really did do.
Do you feel bad for that?
No, she didn't win anyway, so I don't care.
Not after all of this.
Shout out to the person who beat her.
Yeah, thank you for that. Your guys' village, your guys' town will do great not having her.
They actually endorsed this episode.
It was just so weird to me because she was like running, right? And it's like
whenever you beat your baby daddy and you're starting
my
drama.
Face, I was like, yo, chill. Yo, dude, those do not put those allegations on my niggas, bro. Like, he ain't do nothing for that, dude. You guys don't have to do that. You guys don't have to do that.
Dude was like, damn, now y'all having to make me beat all this shit out again.
I'm like, damn, it's gonna be hard as fuck to edit out.
No, but I mean for real. And you're running for trustee. Like, how does that even?
But you're like starting drama on social media, like making these fake accounts, like talking bad about the harassing.
I mean, politicians do that now.
They harass me?
They harass people and they start drama on
about their baby daddies.
It's just so weird. Like, I feel like people who run are like supposed to be like these professionals, you know,
somebody
like,
you look up to, somebody that's inspirational.
Someone who's.
Are you gonna run for trustee?
I'm gonna run for mayor.
Vote for David.
Vote for me. I'm gonna vote for Pedro. I'm gonna run for
I would
mayor.
vote for you. I feel like you're really inspirational.
Thank you.
David's gonna come home tomorrow with the shirt that says vote for David.
I'm just gonna start talking like Trump and Biden, just like I knew this guy. I knew him. He was a good guy.
You're like, Belinda, come on. We got to put all these posters outside our neighborhood of me. Okay, so I wrote to them, and I was like, hello. Who do I contact if I need to send information about someone who is running for trustee who has been harassing me and sending me threats? I have proof of everything, and I strongly believe this person is not a right candidate for your village. And whoever runs this Facebook account was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh, she didn't say oh my God, but they were
I was like, yo, she said OMG?
This whole village unprofessional.
This whole fucking village. Imagine these are the fucking people you guys are trusting to play with y'all tax money.
She said, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
God damn.
No, but she did say, so sorry to hear this. We would recommend that you file a police report with the village of blank.
Yeah, because they did nothing to deserve that.
Yeah, well, I just wanted them to be sure that
to be aware that they have people like this.
Well, it was too. I will say, like, I know, like, I'm, saying what she's done, but like for real, like, she did show up to like a restaurant that we were at, and like she knew.
So you've seen her in person?
No, like we had lab. Oh, Belinda didn't tell you about that story?
Please tell us.
Okay, well, one day,
even if she did, retell it.
Okay, so one day we were at Carnival. Have you ever heard of that restaurant, Carnival?
I've heard of it. We've never been there though.
It's in the city, and it's
I'm too broke to know of it.
Okay, yeah, it's a little bougie, but it's in the city, and it's decorated like very carnival-y kind of look, and not necessarily like a carnival. It just has like a lot of colors and stuff inside. So like a lot of girls would know the restaurant just because of the way it's decorated. It's very Instagrammable, right? So I had posted, mind you, I thought I blocked her off of everything, which I did. Comes to find out, she was anonymously viewing my Instagram stories.
Right.
But I had blocked her, and Devontae goes on live, and her grandma hops up on live. Like, her grandma's like his first viewer. And I'm like, wait, what?
Shout out grandma.
Yeah, Granny was keeping tabs on Devontae. Like, she was not playing no games.
That wasn't Granny.
No, it wasn't Granny.
You think
that was not
was
Granny. That was definitely
phone?
her, yeah. And because she was, like, watching my stories probably off of hers, so
Boys.
she logged...
Everybody remember, so when you break up with your baby mama, block her mom, her granny, the village that she lives in. You gotta block everybody, all right? Make sure you guys block Granny, because Granny up to no good.
Granny was number one on his viewers. So we were like on Facebook Live, like messing around, like recording her food and like just like us on a date, right?
Yeah.
And really, like why we did it was because I was like telling him that my live was going to be more popping than his, like because I have more followers or whatever. Well, she saw that we were there. And all of a sudden, he gets a lovely text, which we do have this in our binders. He gets a lovely text, and it states on...
I want to see this.
This is... there's text messages where she's outside with the picture. You see the picture?
No. Is it... What day are we looking at?
It's the one that says March, April, showed up at the restaurant calling me over and over again. That was the headliner.
I'm in March. Hold on. Still in March.
You passed it, I think.
A lot was popping.
You're on page 1, 2, 3, 4. It's on page 5, and it's on the left side. You'll see, like, on the highway picture on the corner.
You gonna lie? All these memes got me dead.
Let me see.
We're skipping too many pages here now.
I know.
You did skip it. I see it. I saw it.
Yeah, you do it.
Yeah, it's
I ain't gonna lie, I'm a
on the
little
left
slow.
side.
All right, let me follow.
Right here.
You see it? Like she takes a picture that she's on the highway.
Okay.
And that's Carnival right there behind it. You see the little like rainbowy sign?
Yeah.
She sent him that picture?
Yes, she sent him that picture. And what does it say on there?
Here in 2 minutes. Y'all scary?
Y'all scary. What are we scary of?
Yeah, that sounds like a threat.
Period. That's exactly what I told the judge. Yeah, so she basically said, she's like basically saying, like, come outside. And so our valet actually got there 2 minutes before she sent that picture that she was outside. And we don't know where her son was. Like, that was her weekend to have the son.
Yeah.
So, like, did you have your kid in the car with you when you pulled up to the restaurant telling us to come outside? Like, I remember I actually cried, like, coming home because I was like, I'm a mom. Like, I would never do something like that with my kids in the car, or like even do that to your child's mother with him being in the car. Like, if you expected me to fight or to do something, I would never have done that, because like I have too much respect being a mother. Like, I'm not fighting for you. I'm sorry,
especially
but I'm
if
not.
that kid was in the car and she did get off. Like, that's
then
crazy.
what? Like, that's traumatizing to him.
Did you put this together? Did your lawyer put this together?
No, I put this together. Should I be a lawyer? Did you read the bio? Yeah.
No, I did not read the bio. I'll get to that.
Bio.
If you read the first page, it's very legit. Like, I should have been a lawyer.
Yo, can we keep this for like just for like podcast memories?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we're gonna this one day is gonna go on like in a Hall of Fame somewhere.
I made that one for you. Also, even like the court stuff is in the back, so you guys have record.
These are all official copies.
Official copies. Yes, official. Came straight from the courthouse of Lake County.
And like, this is what I'm saying. Like, if she really had the receipts, this is what I wanted to see back in the DMs. I need receipts like this.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm very straightforward when it comes to things in my life, because like I feel like a lot of people can relate to what I'm going through, and so yeah. So
I cannot.
Well, I'm really happy for you guys, because this has been stressing me out this last year.
Yeah, so back to the DM. So she just couldn't send nothing, right? Okay, and then that's when, Liz had told me about, like, her running, like running for, like, that campaign and stuff like that. And then I had told her, like, why are you trying to be, like, messy on social media and you're running for this campaign? Like, you should be focusing on yourself. Like, that's just crazy. Like, I was like, why do you want to come on the podcast to talk shit about your baby daddy and, like, tell the world, that he's cheating,
it was to the
or,
point
like, that
where,
he
like,
left you.
He doesn't want to be
not
with
even
you.
cheating, because
she
they
was
weren't
just
together.
being so messy and, like, involving, like, the business, too. Like, she would go on, like, my business page and, like, for instance, she commented on, like, a hair picture that I had posted on a fake profile. And she's like, still a hoe no matter if you block me. Like... What? Like, what did my hair picture have to do with you? Like, why are you taking it out on that picture?
What did us clients do to you, Miss Girl?
And then it was like, once that got blocked, she would go on my actual page, and it was like off another fake page. Fake pictures, cap, calling the PPP police on you. That's when you know she was watching.
That she listened to the episode, because we talked about all that.
How many emails do you have? Because you need to have a shitload of emails for this.
Said, right?
You need to have a lot of good...
Yeah.
She's probably just writing shit down. I don't know.
And then I posted a lovely picture of me and my mans at a wedding, and she swipes up on another fake account and says,
Ew.
I know a beep that's going to cheat when I see one.
You can cuss.
I don't want to say the N-word.
Oh.
Yeah. She said, I know a N-word.
A nigga?
Yeah, that's...
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's so bad. Okay.
All right.
And I only say that because she would like do like when her son was born, she'd be like hashtag black baby, hashtag mixed baby, hashtag like very emphasized. Like she was like the type of girl that like.
So she like fetishizes black people?
Yes.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, that was exactly.
That's a little weird.
Just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it was to the point where like it was all these fake pages coming. Like I said, messaging for the on my business page, and like. Let's backtrack before I even met him. He was actually talking to somebody else.
Right.
Like, right when they had split. And she's from Chicagoland area. And the same exact thing happened to her that happened to me, where the baby mama reached out, but the thing with the difference with her was she believed everything the baby mama said. She gave up.
Mm-hmm.
She gave up, And, I mean, she says it even still to this day that she regrets it, but like...
I mean, good for her for giving up, because else she wouldn't be here.
Exactly, so thank you, sis. But, she gave up, and she became best friends with the baby mama.
And that's the craziest fucking part. Like, when you told me that, I was like, what do you mean they became friends?
I could never be friends over a dude that we both had interest in. Like,
this
that's weird to me.
And especially because you were, like, harassing her at one point, too. Like, she was harassing that other girl.
So she was harassing her and, like...
Exact same
doing the same shit, like, messaging her, pulling up, and doing all this shit.
Like, her baby daddy, her friends, like... Trying to find out information on her as well.
Hey, you better love me that much.
Oh, no. I literally... when we were talking
That's like the only thing good that I could say about her is like, dude, like...
She had a lot of love for him, huh?
Like, you better love me like that, dude, because if you don't love me like that...
when you were telling me everything that she was doing and, like, just everything, like, I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I feel her, because I'm going to do the exact same fucking shit. Like, if me and David was to ever separate, I'm going to be crazy, like... Ain't nobody gonna want to be with David. I don't care.
And that's kind of how like I thought in the beginning too, but like it just got overboard. Like it was like, damn girl, like there's a lot of other fish in the sea. Like, I can help you find one or something. But, so yeah.
And she's not ugly.
No, she's not. And I've said that all the time. Like, she's a very pretty girl, but an ugly personality. Pretty. Like, that's what kills it for her. But, so, whatever. She becomes best friends with that girl. They hang out every day. They're talking shit to the baby daddy. Like, basically to laugh in his face.
So the ex-girlfriend teams up with her and talks shit to him, too?
Yeah.
She wasn't shit either.
Yeah. I guess I can understand in the sense of, like, why. Damn it. I know! Why does this happen?
What?
You didn't hear me say her name?
What the fuck, dude?
He didn't even get it.
Like, damn it.
What the fuck?
But I understand why she did it. She felt bad for her. She's a mother herself, too. And
she's gonna get the duck noise.
Yeah, she is. That's a good one. I like that. But so like I kind of like understood in a sense, like she felt sorry for her. Like the girl had no friends. She just lost her baby daddy. Like she's lost, you know? So they became friends. They hung out all the time. And then right before we went to Puerto Rico, he gets a text or I don't know, a message on Instagram or something from the best friend saying that the baby mama and her are not friends no more. And she understands why he was going through what he was going through. Like, she's crazy. So he calls me. I'm at work, and he's like, hey, like, I just want to know.
So it wasn't her harassing her that made her think she was crazy. It was the fact that she could step back. Now she's crazy?
Well, I guess.
So she wasn't crazy when she was harassing you?
She was, like, reaching out to, like, her ex-fiance, like, the best friend's ex-fiance, and, like, while they were friends. So, like, there was, I mean, I have all her evidence as well here.
So she was trying to fuck the ex-fiance?
Yeah. Like, she was, like, trying to talk to him and stuff like that.
But then she's over here worried about what you doing?
Yeah, period. So, she texts my boyfriend and she's like, we're no longer friends and, like, I just wanted to let you know, like, this is what's been going on. And he calls me and he's like, I just wanted to let you know, like, she reached out just in case somebody, like, now I feel like he's kind of like, let me let Liz know everything that happens because of,
Are they setting me up?
Exactly. So I'm kind of just like, I don't know why you're responding. Like, I just feel like you shouldn't even get involved with that. Like, that has really nothing to do with you. Like, let them beef, right? She keeps messaging Delvante, like, repeatedly messaging him, and now I'm kind of pissed, and I'm like, the fuck is she messaging my man for? Like, that's between her and the baby mama. So I message her, and I'm kind of like, hey, girl, like, leave us out of it. Like, we don't want nothing to do. Like, we have our own drama with her. Right, you have your own.
Have a lot going on.
I'm like, please just leave us alone. She flips the fuck out. Like, fuck you. Who are you? Da-da-da. And I'm like, all right. Like, I'm just going to stop replying to her, too. And I told him, like, yeah, leave it alone. I don't want to hear nothing about these girls no more. So then she reaches out to me again a couple weeks later telling me that she's going to get a restraining order against, the baby mama. And she's like, if any of this information can help you guys when you guys go to court, I just wanted to let you know. So now I'm like, what information? Like, what do you have that I need to know? So she starts sending me screenshots of, like, hers and the baby mama's conversation. And let me just read you one that really triggered me because now it's involving my business. She goes... she says, she texted me back off the app. What do I say? It's got to be about hair. I messaged her back. I'm about to find out if she's there Saturday. She'll be at her shop all day this Saturday. She texted me off a text-free number, like, basically as if she was a client. And texted me.
Trying to, like, set up an appointment with you, right?
So she can come in. And she goes, hello, is this Lizette? She called me. That was my work phone, and I, like, don't have my work phone really on anymore, like, because I have, like, everybody has my actual number. So I, like, will turn it on occasionally, and I replied back, and I'm like, yeah, this is her. She, so she basically says, I got her work address. And then says my work address. And she's like, they're all app numbers. And then her ex-best friend goes, that's the shop? She's like, yes. I called the number. She texted me off, but it was an app. So, like, now she's trying to come into the shop. You know, she already showed up at the restaurant, and now it's like she was trying to come into the shop to do God knows what. Like, we don't even know what her intentions were to do, right? So then it even shows a screenshot of what app she was using to view me anonymously, and it literally says Lizette Alanis, and then it says view and download Instagram stories anonymously, and it's the website that she was using. And then she says, you think Liz ain't anything? And the best friend says, we don't know. She goes, the unknown makes me crazy. Why can't it mean something to them? And then the best friend says, I'm letting it be. She's like, I wish I could. I can't let him go. I'm blocked off of everything on her. Only thing I can do is harass Delvante. So
she admitted she harasses him.
She's admitting that she harassed him. Yep. And then I have pictures of her calling me nonstop back to back. And, like, the way that I really, like, responded a lot of the times that you can see on there is I tell her, like, talk to your baby daddy. Like, this has nothing to do with me. I don't want to get in the middle of it. Like, leave me alone. Like, stop messaging my friends. Stop messaging my family. Like, they don't need to be involved. Like, let's just leave it like that.
Because she wouldn't stop messaging us, actually. Like, she wouldn't stop messaging the podcast. She just kept telling us, like, that we needed to tell Liz, like, to stop messing with her baby daddy. And, like, we needed to say something that we're, like, encouraging her to continue because we're telling her to, like, stop. And I was just like, I mean, we don't own her. Like, I'm not her mom. And, like, first of all, Liz is an adult. Like, even if I was to tell you as a friend, like, hey, like, Liz, like, you know, I don't think it's, like, a good idea that you're talking to him because of how much drama, like, you know, he comes with or whatever. I mean, it's at the end of the day, that's on you, what you're going to do, right? Like, I can only give you my opinion as a friend.
Yep.
But it's also, like, I'm not, like, she doesn't know what I told Liz back then. And I wasn't going to tell her, like, you know, whatever I tell my friend, that's between me and my friend. And I'm not going to tell you, like, oh, yeah, don't worry. I told Liz, like, to stop messing with your baby daddy. And
it was just, like, I could have said so much stuff to her, like, really talked my shit to her, right? Yeah. And, like, I would reply, like, this is one of the examples. I don't want to deal with this. I told him from the jump. It isn't my place to be in the middle of y'all's problems, so please just keep me out of it. Like, I'm really being respectful and kind of, like, just telling her, like, I don't want to get in the middle of your guys' drama. It's already enough that you guys have to be dealing with this. Like, why are you adding me into this, you know? And it was, like, him too. Like, I mean, you can read his text messages that he was telling her. Like, you know, I'm talking to Liz now. I hope you don't start any drama. If you do, it'll probably just make us stronger. Like, we're constantly telling her, like, we get you're upset. We get that your feelings are hurt. We get that you have all these emotions. And it's not easy, but, like, don't take it out on us. And, like, me personally, like, I just feel like you thought that was going to be a way to get your baby daddy back. Like, I feel like that's just pushing him away even more. Like,
well, I mean, the average guy would be like, okay. Like, if Belinda did that to me, I'd be like, okay, I'll come back.
You would get back? Like, after all that?
I don't know. Like, okay, one thing about David is that David loves a little toxic energy.
I think that you have to, like, understand, like, if you look at the last...
Look, like, if it plays out exactly the way you said it did...
I mean, wait, you would get back with her even after this?
No.
Okay.
No. That's different. Like, if it was just like...
That was the domestic case.
Oh.
One. That was the last incident that they had, the police report.
That shit ain't right.
So, and that's what I'm saying. And, like, when me and him got more serious, it was to the point where, like, she dropped the 50-50 that they had. Like, it was every other weekend now, and there was no reason for it. And I think that's probably the hardest that we've had to deal with during this whole thing, is especially for me, because now I feel like I'm the reason that he can't have his kid in his life. And, like, it's been a lot to take in myself. Like, sometimes I've even, like, have told myself, like, do I just push myself away? And, like, is it the best for him? Like, I want him to have the best. And, like, he moved here and has no family. He has no friends. He has nothing. Like, there's a lot of dads out there that would not have done that for their child. And, like, he did it for his kid, and he wants to be in his kid's life. Yeah. And, like, now I feel like...
Like, he moved out here for that girl, had a kid, and now he's like, well, I can't go back because I won't have my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And that's why you kind of understood, like,
the reason why he
did what he did, right?
Yeah, and it was more like I just said, like, I was more like, do I step back and, like, leave him and, like, let him be able to have his son now 50-50, because that's what he was having until I got in the picture. Like, now I'm like, I just feel bad. Like, I feel bad that he's lost a lot of it, and I feel almost guilty, like it's my fault. You know? And, like, and he tells me all the time, like, he doesn't want me to feel that way, and it wasn't my fault, you know? But at the same time, it's like, I have children, and, like, I don't know what I would do if that was taken away from me and not to have them, you know?
You know what? Me and David talked about it, too, like, about, like, the whole thing that he did or whatever. And David loves to play. Like, he was always like, he's like, you know, if me and you, like, ever get separated, like, oh, you know, if I got with somebody else, he was like, oh, you're gonna be cheating on him with me, don't worry. Like,
yeah, I'm cracking.
Yeah, I'm always gonna be around.
Yeah, I'm cracking. Like, I'm sorry, dude, and, like, I'm just gonna be cracking her. Fuck it. Like, the fuck, bro? Like, we have 2 kids together.
And I told him because he was like, damn, like really, like he really did it. Like he like
yeah, when she like when she told me, it's not that I was like judging him. I was just like, damn, bro, like
it sucks for you because you're our friend.
Not only just that, but it also sucks for him because it's like he really allowed her to like take advantage of him.
Yeah.
And it's
like, I think that exactly what you just said, like you would always be like kind of messing around with Belinda or whatever. Yeah. That was always in the back of my head as well. Like, what if one day he wakes up and something flips and it's like, I want to be back with my baby mama.
Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know. And that was like a risk that I was like, oh my God, am I willing to take this and like get hurt? Like, this is what could happen to me. And like,
but this is also like, because I like the thing that I got from all of this as far as like, because I said, like I only met him that one time that we were here. And from like everything that's been going on, the only impression that I get of him is that he is a good man, and that he does give a fuck about his son, because to put up with someone like that and all these years through the domestic violence and through all that shit, it means to me that he was just there for his son. 100%. That he's not leaving unless it's with his son. And I can't do nothing but like I'm not gonna go off and be like, bro, like you're a pussy, you should have just left. Like I don't see it that way. I see it the other way, where it's like I completely understand where you're coming from, but as a friend, I'm telling you need to walk away from her. You know. And when it comes to like you two, I'm also like, if that's not proof that he doesn't love you, I don't know what is, because he's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I think that's what really like opened my eyes now that, it's almost been a year in, and like, obviously we're still together and things like that. Like, it's not that he chose me over his son, but like he didn't do that at all. He didn't at all.
No.
But he's understanding at the fact that like it wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything to take that away from him.
Well, he's looking at it like as an adult. Like he's realizing that like this isn't a situation where Liz is the reason to blame for everything. It's not to say it like this, but it's his fault.
Yeah,
because of who he decided to
have a baby with.
Exactly, but he didn't know that going into it though.
Enough, but that's the hardest. Because you don't know exactly who you're going to have a baby with.
But you do, but you don't.
No,
because you know one side of someone.
Yeah,
and women change after having kids.
Yeah,
whether it be for the good or for the worse, you never know. Like I was just blessed enough that like Belinda brought out like when she started having kids, the nurturing came out of her. She was more motherly and things like that. And not all women have. I'm not, and I'm not gonna take shots at her, because it was like I was telling Belinda too, because she was saying some really disrespectful shit to us in the DM.
She got mad.
She got mad, and I really wanted to like.
I understand 1,000%. I understand, because I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want, for David to leave me, and then like I find out like he's with someone who he really loves, and they're traveling together.
Yeah.
They're so happy. All the pictures that they're posting together, like, and it's like a blended family, because he
is around my kids.
He's around your kids, and I get it. I get it 100%, and like that's why like I was trying to be like as straightforward as I could, but like
without
I'm
being
not
disrespectful.
Yes.
Because like we still like I respect him off the strength of you.
Yeah.
Like because of we've known you for a long time, and he's never done anything or he's never said anything, and that's why I refrain myself from like saying stupid jokes or saying stupid things, because it's like if the shoe was on the other foot, I would want that same respect for my baby mama. I would want that same respect, from somebody else who.
And that's why I said, like, I've sat back a lot of the times and I've bit my tongue, and I could have said so much, but it's like, I kind of had to look at the bigger picture. Like, if I marry this man and this is the man that I'm going to be with for the rest of my life, so is his child. And that is the child's mother. And I don't want him to ever feel like I'm disrespecting his mother, because at the end of the day, he's going to love his mother no matter what.
Yeah, that's his mom.
That's his mom.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, I have kids myself, and I'm not with their dad. So, like, I would want the same when Joey finds a wife or whatever, So, I think that's, like, the hardest thing is just watching, because he's such a great dad. And, like, he's not only a great dad to his son, but he's a great dad to my kids. Like, he stepped in when their dad is not obviously living with us. He's played that fatherly figure for my children. And it's like seeing him in dad mode, it hurts me so much that his kid cannot be around that much.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve it. And so basically, after all the harassing has happened and we found out that it was a lot more stalking than I even really knew about, that's when I kind of was like, all right, like, I need to take action into my own hands, because as a mother, I know how emotions get. We have postpartum. We have just depression alone, like with the same routine and things like that. And the way I'm thinking is you hear so many stories of like mothers either killing themselves, killing their kids, as sad as it is, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like...
You just don't know how far she's going to go.
She lost her baby daddy. She lost her best friend. And she's in the process of a custody battle with her child.
You know, and...
What could happen?
And look, and...
She has, like, you know, she obviously had the address to here, right?
Exactly. How do I know if she's not outside watching me go home?
Yeah.
She knows that her kid is at my house every other weekend when she's with dad.
She knew how to find out, like, your work schedule.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that really terrified me in the sense that her child is with my kids.
Yeah.
What if one day she wasn't happy with that and, like, showed up at my house with my children there? Now I have to put my motherly mode on and say I need to protect myself and my kids.
Yeah.
So... I did. I went to the courthouse, and
you know what? Before we get into that, I think we're gonna stop right there, and we're gonna go more into court and everything that was happening, and the actual real reason why you couldn't come back until now. It was court, but we're gonna do that on a part 2.